If you live in the United States and you are planning to buy a washing machine in 2026, this video might save you thousands of dollars and years of frustration. Because today, we are not listening to brands. We are not listening to salesmen. We are not listening to fanboys in comment sections. Today, we are listening to the people who see the truth every single day. The people who open these machines, the people who fix them, the people who see which washers break and which ones survive. Yes, U.S. appliance repair technicians. And not one, not two, 20 different repair technicians across the United States. Different states, different cities, different brands, same reality. And what they told me might completely change how you think about washing machines. So before you buy anything, before you trust online reviews, before you believe marketing claims, watch this video till the end. Because once you hear what repair technicians say, you can never unhear it. WHAD, we are covering today 5 main topics. Before we go deeper, let me clearly tell you what we are covering today so you know exactly what is coming. In this video, we will break everything down into 5 main parts. 1. How this information was collected from real U.S. repair technicians. 2. Which washing machine brands fail the most in American homes. 3. Which brands fail the least and why technicians trust them. 4. Old models versus new models. What changed after 2018 to 2026. 5. Final buying advice. Which washer you should buy in the USA. Each part builds on the previous one, and skipping any part will give you an incomplete picture. So stay with me, because the most surprising answer comes later, not at the beginning. Why? Repair technicians are the only opinion that matters. Let's be honest for a moment. Salespeople sell, brands advertise, influencers get sponsored, but repair technicians, they get paid after something breaks. They don't care about brand loyalty, marketing slogans, online arguments. They care about what fails, what lasts, what is easy to fix, what is a nightmare to repair. And when 20 different technicians across the U.S. tell you similar things, that's not opinion anymore. That's pattern. Topic 1. How this information was collected. Full transparency. This part is very important because trust matters. So let's be clear. This information comes from 20 appliance repair technicians across multiple U.S. states with experience ranging from 8 to 30 plus years who repair washers every single week. These technicians work on LG, Whirlpool, Samsung, GE, Speed Queen, Maytag, and store brands. Some work independently. Some work with local appliance companies. Some previously worked with manufacturers. Different backgrounds, same job. What exactly were they asked? They were not asked, what brand do you like? They were asked, which washers do you repair the most? Which washers fail early? Which washers last the longest? Which models got worse over time? Which brands they would buy for their own home? This distinction matters, because liking a brand and trusting it in your own house are 2 very different things. Why 20 technicians is a big deal. 1 technician can have bias, 2 can have coincidence, but 20, across different states, that's trend-level information, and what they revealed is not what most people expect. A warning before we continue: this video may upset brand loyalists, trigger comment arguments, challenge popular opinions, but it will also save you money, save you stress, save you regret, and that's more important. Setting expectations, very important. Let me say this clearly. There is no perfect washing machine. Every brand has strengths, weaknesses, failure points. This video is not about perfection. It is about which washers fail the least in real U.S. homes. That's it. The big question every viewer has right now at this moment. The viewer is thinking, so, which brand breaks the most? And which one actually lasts? Hold on, because the answer is not as simple as brand A bad, brand B good. The truth is more interesting than that. Now the real truth begins. Up to this point, the viewer understands one thing very clearly. This video is not based on opinions, ads, or brand loyalty. This video is based on real repair data from inside American homes. And now we move to the question every U.S. buyer secretly wants answered. Which washing machines fail the most in the United States? Not which ones look good. Not which ones have the best marketing. Not which ones people defend online. But which ones end up broken the most. Topic 2. Washing machine brands that fail the most in the USA. Repair tech reality. Before naming any brand, one very important thing must be understood. When repair technicians talk about failures, They do not talk emotionally. They talk in patterns. They see hundreds of machines every year. They notice what repeats. And repetition is what creates truth. A critical clarification: don't skip this. A brand appearing often in repair calls does not automatically mean it is the worst brand. Sometimes it simply means the brand sells in very high volume in the U.S. However, when the same failure types on the same components appear again and again across different states and different technicians, that is no longer coincidence. That is design reality. Category 1. High-tech, high-complexity washers. One sentence was repeated by almost every technician: the more technology inside a washer, the more things there are to fail. In the U.S. market, many washers are now overloaded with control boards, touch panels, sensors, software-driven cycles. And while this looks impressive in the store, it creates long-term problems in real homes. Samsung washing machines most frequently mentioned. Samsung was mentioned more than any other brand. This does not mean every Samsung washer is bad, but it does mean Samsung washers appear very often on repair calls. Technicians reported the most common issues as control board failures, sensor malfunctions, software freezing or errors, expensive electronic replacements. Several technicians said something very similar. Samsung washers work great at first. Problems usually start after a few years. In the U.S., this creates a serious issue. Repairs are expensive, parts are costly, sometimes replacement is cheaper than repair. That is not what most American families expect. Cheap models and store-brand washers. USA big box issue. Another category that showed very high failure rates was low-cost washers, store-brand machines sold by big box retailers. Technicians explained this clearly: thinner metal, more plastic components, weaker motors, cheaper bearings. These machines are built to hit a price point, not longevity. One technician explained it perfectly: people save money at checkout, then pay more later in repairs. In many U.S. homes, these washers fail just outside warranty. That creates frustration and regret. Poorly designed front loaders. Not all, but some repair technicians made something very clear: front-load washers are not the problem. Bad front-load washers are the problem. Common issues include door seal failures, drainage issues, mold caused by poor airflow design, sensor confusion. When a front loader is well designed, it performs excellently. When it is poorly designed, it becomes a maintenance nightmare. This is why technicians always say, model matters more than brand. The most important pattern technicians see: one statement stood out above all others: most washers don't fail because of washing. They fail because of electronics. This single truth explains almost everything wrong with modern washers. And this leads us naturally to the next question: if some washers fail frequently, which washers fail the least? Topic 3. Washing machine brands that fail the least. U.S. technician consensus. This is the section where expectations change. Technicians do not talk about perfect machines. They talk about least problematic machines. Because in the real world, perfection does not exist. First, a very important truth: almost every technician said a version of this: every washer will fail eventually. Some just fail less often and cost less to fix. That sentence alone can save a U.S. buyer thousands of dollars. Whirlpool Maytag most consistently recommended. Whirlpool and Maytag came up repeatedly as safe, predictable, repair-friendly. Technicians explained why. Parts are widely available across the U.S. Repairs are straightforward. Designs are not overly complex. Costs are reasonable. One technician described Whirlpool like this: they're not exciting, but boring is good in appliances. For many American families, boring equals peace of mind. LG surprisingly positive. With conditions, LG received a more nuanced response. Many technicians said, LG front-load washers are well-engineered, direct drive motors are reliable, cleaning performance is strong. However, they also warned, avoid the cheapest LG models, mid-range and higher models perform much better. One technician summarized LG perfectly: LG is great when you buy the right model. Buy the wrong one, and you'll regret it. That distinction matters. Speed Queen lease failures. But not for everyone. Speed Queen was mentioned as one of the least repaired brands, extremely durable, very simple mechanically. Technicians respect Speed Queen for one reason: they rarely see them broken. However, almost every technician added a warning: Speed Queen is not ideal for modern lifestyles, limited features, rough on clothes, loud operation. One technician said, Speed Queen is strong, not smart. Perfect for some homes, wrong for many. That honesty is critical. What the viewer should realize at this point. Right now, the viewer understands something powerful. The best washer is not the one people argue about online. The best washer is the one that fits how you actually live. And that realization changes everything. At this point in the video, the viewer is no longer confused. They are no longer thinking like a shopper. They are starting to think like a technician. And now comes the part that most YouTube videos never explain properly. This is where people finally understand why their old washer lasted 15 to 20 years, but their new washer struggles to last 6-8. And the reason has nothing to do with luck. Topic 4. Old washing machines versus new washing machines USA reality check. Let's start with a hard truth. Older washing machines in the United States were not better because companies cared more. They were better because regulations were different. Manufacturing priorities were different. Consumers demanded durability, not features. Everything changed after one specific period. The turning point, 2016 to 2019 USA market shift. Between 2016 and 2019, 3 massive things happened in the U.S. appliance industry. Energy efficiency regulations tightened, water usage limits became stricter, smart features became a selling requirement. Manufacturers were forced to redesign washers quickly, and when speed meets regulation, compromises are made. Why old US washers lasted so long? Older washers pre-2015 had very specific characteristics: mechanical knobs instead of touch panels, fewer sensors, simple timers, thicker metal frames, overbuilt motors. They were inefficient by today's standards, but extremely forgiving. If you overloaded them, they survived. If water pressure changed, they survived. If power fluctuated, they survived. They were built for real American households, not lab tests. What changed in new washers? New washers 2019-2026 are designed around compliance first. That means precise water measurement, software-controlled cycles, sensors everywhere, lightweight construction, cost optimization. None of this is automatically bad, but it introduces fragility. The electronics problem. Most people miss this. Electronics do not fail gradually. They fail suddenly. A mechanical timer might slow down over years. A control board works perfectly until it doesn't. That's why technicians say, new washers don't age. They stop. This is especially relevant in U.S. homes where power surges happen. Homes are older. Laundry rooms are humid. Why some brands adapted better than others? Not all brands handled this transition equally. Some brands simplified electronics, kept designs modular, made parts replaceable. Others integrated everything into one board, made repairs complex, increased replacement cost. This is where brand philosophy matters more than marketing. Speed Queen, old school philosophy in a new world. Speed Queen basically refused to follow the trend. They chose mechanical simplicity, fewer cycles, fewer sensors, strong suspension systems. This is why Speed Queen washers last. But this is also why many U.S. buyers feel disappointed after purchase. They expect modern convenience. What they get is industrial durability. LG and Whirlpool, different strategies. LG chose better motor technology, advanced electronics, higher engineering investment. Whirlpool chose controlled complexity, familiar designs, easier repairs. Both strategies can work, but only if the buyer understands what they're choosing. The biggest myth about new models. Many people believe newer model equals better model. Technicians strongly disagree. A newer model often means new design, less real-world testing, more unknown failure points. That's why technicians often recommend models that are 1 to 3 years old, not brand new redesigns. Stability matters more than novelty. This leads to a critical question at this stage. The viewer is thinking, okay, if old machines lasted longer and new machines are more complex, how do I choose the right washer in 2026? This is where most people get lost. So now we simplify everything. Topic 5. The only washing machine buying framework US homeowners need 2026. Forget brands for a moment. Forget online arguments. Forget comments sections. This framework works regardless of brand. Step 1. Define your household reality and not your ideal. Ask yourself honestly, how many people live in your home? How often do you do laundry? Do you overload machines? Do you care more about fabric care or durability? Most washer regret happens because people buy for an ideal life they don't live. Step 2. Choose durability level, not brand. There are 3 durability categories in the U.S. market: light-duty convenience washers, balance family washers, heavy-duty durability washers. Speed Queen sits firmly in Category 3. LG and Whirlpool mostly live in Category 2. Cheap models sit in Category 1. Buy the category first, then choose the brand. Step 3. Control the electronics. This saves money. Ask one simple question before buying. How much of this washer depends on a control board? More electronics equals higher future cost. For many U.S. families, some electronics are fine, excessive electronics are not. Balance matters. Step 4. Repairability over features. A washer with easy-to-access parts, available components, simple diagnostics, is better than a washer with 20 cycles you'll never use, touch screens that fail, integrated systems. Technicians always say, buy what can be fixed. Step 5. Match brand to expectation. This is where people fail. This is the most important step. If you buy Speed Queen expecting quiet operation, gentle fabric care, modern cycles, you will be disappointed. If you buy Samsung expecting 15-year durability, cheap repairs, you will be disappointed. If you buy Whirlpool or LG expecting balanced performance, reasonable lifespan, acceptable repairs, you will usually be satisfied. Expectation alignment is everything. The final reality: U.S. buyers must accept no washing machine in 2026 is perfect. But regret comes from misunderstanding, not from brand choice. When people say, this washer is terrible, what they often mean is, this washer was wrong for my life. At this point, the viewer is fully educated. The final part of the video will tie everything together. Address Speed Queen hate versus praise. Honestly explain who should buy Speed Queen and who absolutely should not, and deliver a clear, confident conclusion. No confusion, no brand wars, just clarity. Speed Queen: who should buy it, who should never buy it. USA 2026. At this stage of the video, the viewer is no longer emotional. They are no longer reacting to comments. They are no longer influenced by brand fanboys. They now understand something most buyers in the United States never take time to understand. Every washing machine is a trade-off. And now we deal with the most controversial name of all, the Speed Queen question. Why people argue so much. Speed Queen creates more arguments than any other washer brand in the U.S. Some people say, Speed Queen is the best washer ever made. Others say, Speed Queen is overpriced and outdated. Both groups are right, and both groups are wrong. It all depends on who is buying it and why. WHAD Speed Queen actually is no marketing, just facts. Speed Queen is not designed like modern consumer washers. It is built using a commercial mindset. That means strength over gentleness, simplicity over features, longevity over convenience. Speed Queen was never trying to compete with LG or Samsung. They were trying to outlast them. The real advantages of Speed Queen USA reality. Let's be very honest and very clear. Advantage number 1. Extreme durability. Speed Queen washers are built to survive abuse. They tolerate heavy loads, poor usage habits, high-frequency washing, long daily cycles. This is why laundromats trust them. This is also why some U.S. homeowners love them. Advantage number 2. Low electronic dependence. Compared to modern washers, fewer sensors, fewer software issues, fewer control board failures. This directly reduces repair frequency, diagnostic confusion, sudden electronic death. For people who hate electronics, this feels safe. Advantage number 3. Long service life. Speed Queen washers are designed to run for many years, not quietly, not gently, but consistently. Many technicians say, if maintained, they can outlast most residential washers. That reputation is earned. Now the part most fans don't talk about: durability alone does not make a washer perfect. And this is where many U.S. buyers make a mistake. The real disadvantages of Speed Queen. This matters a lot. Disadvantage number 1. Rough on clothes. Speed Queen washers are aggressive. They clean well because strong agitation, powerful movement, less delicate cycle tuning. But that power comes at a cost. Clothes experience more friction, more stress, faster wear over time. If you care deeply about fabric longevity, this matters. Disadvantage number 2. Limited modern features. Speed Queen does not offer advanced fabric-specific cycles, smart app control, quiet night modes, gentle wash optimization. In modern U.S. homes, many people expect these things. Speed Queen does not prioritize them. Disadvantage number 3. Noisy operation. This is one of the biggest complaints. Speed Queen washers are loud. In apartments, open concept homes, laundry rooms near bedrooms, this can become annoying very quickly. Durability does not equal comfort. Disadvantage number 4. Price versus value confusion. Speed Queen washers are expensive. Many buyers think high price means best for everyone. That assumption is wrong. High price only makes sense if the design matches your life. Who should actually buy Speed Queen in the USA? Let's end the confusion clearly. Speed Queen makes sense if you wash heavy loads very frequently, you don't care about smart features, you prioritize longevity over fabric care, noise does not bother you, you want a machine that feels mechanical and tough. For these users, Speed Queen can be a great choice. Who should not buy Speed Queen? Most people. Speed Queen is a bad choice if you value quiet operation, you care about delicate fabrics, you want modern cycles and convenience, you expect gentle washing, you live in an apartment or shared space. For these users, Speed Queen often leads to regret. Why the comments section is so confusing? Here's the truth about online comments. People defend what they bought. They don't defend what fits everyone. Someone who loves Speed Queen is often defending their values, their lifestyle, their justification, not an objective universal truth. Speed Queen is not a bad washing machine, but it is also not the best washing machine for most American homes. It is a specialized machine for a specific type of user. Buying it without understanding that is what wastes money and time. How this connects back to Whirlpool, LG, and Samsung. Whirlpool and LG succeed because they aim for balance. They accept moderate durability, moderate electronics, moderate repair cost, better fabric care, better daily comfort. Samsung struggles because it prioritizes features over reliability. Speed Queen succeeds because it prioritizes durability over everything else. None of these philosophies are wrong. They are just different. The most important lesson for 2026 buyers in 2026, the smartest buyer is not brand loyal. The smartest buyer is self-aware. They know how they live, how they wash, what they value, what annoys them, and they buy accordingly. If you came into this video thinking, tell me which washer is the best, you now understand why that question is wrong. The real question is, which washer is best for my life? If this video saved you from making an expensive mistake, then it did its job. If it challenged what you believed, then it did its job. And if you're still confused, go back to the framework, not the comments. Because washing machines don't fail people, bad decisions do.